There is a very important question that I would like to ask you here. Many people are interested in knowing why Islam was spread by the sword, as some people claim. What's your argument about that?
As far as the question that why was Islam spread by the sword, this is a misconception. Islam is a religion of peace, coming from the root word salam, which means peace. So no one can say that peace was spread by the sword. The best reply is given by Deleuze O'Leary, a very famous historian, who writes in the book Islam at the Crossroad on page number 8, and he says that history makes it clear that the legend of fanatical Muslims sweeping across the world, forcing Islam at the point of the sword over conquered races, is the most absurd myth that historians have ever repeated. That means this is a myth that has been repeated by the historians. And if we read history, there we come to know that the Muslims ruled Spain for about 800 years. We did not do our job, we didn't convey the message. Later on, we know that the Crusaders came and they wiped out the Muslims. There was not a single Muslim in Spain who could openly give the azan. We Muslims, we ruled the Arab lands for the last 1400 years. A few years the Britishers came, the few years the French came, but overall the Muslims were the rulers and the lords of the Arab land for 1400 years. Yet today, there are more than 8 million Arabs or Coptic Christians. If we wanted, we could have converted every non-Muslim at the point of the sword. These 8 million Coptic Christians, they are giving Shahada. They are bearing witness that Islam wasn't spread by the sword. We Muslims, we ruled India for 1,000 years. Yet today, more than 80% of the Indians, they are non-Muslim. These 80% non-Muslim Indians, they are giving Shahada. They are bearing witness that Islam was spread by the sword. If we wanted, we could have forced every non-Muslim to accept Islam at the point of the sword. Today, today Indonesia, which is one of the largest countries which has Muslims, which Muslim army went to Indonesia? Which Muslim army went to Malaysia, which has 60% Muslims? Which Muslim army went to the east coast of Africa, which has 90 to 100% Muslims? Which army? It was mainly by the traders, by the amal, by the actions, by the nature that people accepted Islam. And Thomas Carlyle, he writes in his book Heroes and Hero Worship, that every new idea originates in the mind of one. In one man's head, it dwells alone. It will do little good that he picks up a sword and propagates it. You have to first get your sword. He's talking about the sword of the intellect, the sword of love, the sword of peace, which is conquering the hearts. Today, Alhamdulillah, Islam is the fastest growing religion in USA. It is the fastest growing religion in Europe. It is the fastest growing religion in the world. If Islam is a religion which is spread by the sword, I want to know that who is using the sword today in America, in Europe. There was a survey done which came in the Plain Truth magazine and the Reader Digest Almanac Yearbook 1984. There was a survey in the increase in the major world religion in 50 years, from 1934 to 1984. And number one major increase was Islam, 235%. Christianity, only 47%. I want to ask the question, which war took place between 1934 and 1984, which converted millions of Muslims? So, but natural, Islam is a peaceful religion. It's a religion of mercy, and it is the fastest growing religion today because Islam has the solution for the problems of humanity.